Yo, I'm X Toy Cat, and we've seen many weird 1.17 item reveals, from the brush to the candles to even a bucket of axolotl, but none are more controversial than the bundle. If I had a penny for every single complaint I've seen about the bundle being OP, then I would have too many pennies to fit in a bundle, because this is an item which has attracted a lot of people's hate and ire, because after all, doesn't the bundle make the shulker box useless? Except no, actually, it does not at all. Today I wanted to talk about the bundle, and I also wanted to talk about what it means for Minecraft's game design, because we did get a lengthy explanation about why they're introducing the bundle and what it means for the future, so I'll let Lady Agnes explain it right now.
Yes. So, as you know, we keep adding new blocks and new items all the time, and that do create a bit of an inventory problem. And we're aware of that, and we have actually been thinking quite a lot how we can solve it, because we want to have like a good gameplay solution, we want it to be balanced, and we actually have an item in this update that will be really helpful, and it's the bundles.
So very explicitly right there, she mentions that this is going to be a balanced feature within the game. That's something they really want. And you can see how the character is picking it up, despite the fact that they still just have a stone sword and an iron pickaxe, and weirdly enough, a diamond helmet that I've already mentioned is kind of weird. But you can see how they have that, and then they're using the bundle, and you can also see that this bundle can only store 64 of an item type. That entire stack of oak logs could fit in there, or 32 iron and 32 grass, and when there is an incomplete number of items in there, it will kind of show you that it's slightly, you can see there's a bar, kind of like durability, showing how full up the bundle is. This means a bundle is effectively a stack of 64, but it doesn't have to be a stack of 64 of one block like the oak logs does, but instead it can be a stack of 64 different items, and interesting enough, you can see they're hovering right here for a bunch of different combinations. The one that catches my interest the most is the ender pearl bundle, because you can see, unlike all of the other bundles, which are full to the brim with 64, the amount of ender pearls you can throw in there is only 16, because a stack of ender pearls, like a stack of snowballs or a stack of eggs or anything else like that, can only stack up to 16, which means they presumably take up 4 times as much space in the bundle as everything else. Either that or they're showing the mechanic in a really weird way, which means that it again functions exactly like a stack does, except it allows you to combine multiple stacks together. And the question would be, why do you need to do that? Isn't that what a shulker box does? But again, the idea here is clearly to complement the shulker box. The shulker box is a much later in the game item that allows you to take 27 stacks of something in one inventory slot, whereas this allows you to take multiple stacks of smaller things, such as a bunch of flowers that you find, because, you know, when you've just picked up the game, you're picking up flowers thinking you might need them later, such as all of the other junk, and then you can see their inventory is perfectly clear as a result. All of their bundles are being stored in this chest, and that means that there actually is a really cool dual use case for using the shulker boxes and the bundles together. But in case you think I'm just putting that on them and they haven't thought about the shulker boxes and they're just really dumb for not realizing how broken this all is, here is Raph, one of Minecraft's new developers, explaining it himself.
And I think one of the biggest takeaways there was that this is not actually one problem. It's constructed from a lot of sub-problems. For example, hotbar management is one problem. Getting a lot of blocks for your huge build somewhere, that's like something the shulkers help with. But I think there is a third sub-problems where every time you leave your base to go exploring somewhere, your inventory keeps getting full of junk. Like, this lot just has 2 flowers. This lot has just 1 seed, right? And I think the bundles are really going to help with that problem.
Yes. So the thing with the bundle is that you can place many different kinds of items in one bundle. So many different kinds of items in one inventory slot. So for example, I can take those 2 flowers and 1 seed and put them in one bundle. It's great.
And you can kind of use them like presents too.
Oh yes, I'm so excited about seeing what players do them in like shopping district, right? You can have the bundle of the day, which has a bunch of things with it, or you can have secret bundles where you have 3 of them in a chest, but you get a random one. I think it's really going to be cool.
Yes, and for example, if your friend has a birthday, you can put like your prettiest item in the bundle because it looks like a gift wrapper, and then you can give it to your friend.
So there you can see the whole point of the bundle. It's clearly meant to be one of the 3 problems that they think they needed to solve. One of them is getting a lot of blocks somewhere, which they think is already being solved by a shulker. Again, 27 stacks of items in one inventory slot is a super powerful tool. That's why I use it all the time, and you see in all of my background gameplay, they're incredibly powerful tools, whereas the bundle is not so much of a powerful tool, but it's more of a handy tool. That's why it is so early in the game. The goal is either, to take a lot of things together to stop a single seed cluttering up your inventory, if, like me, you have a problem where you never want to throw something away, where like, oh, but I really might need this one rabbit leather later, you can throw that rabbit leather with this one oak wood log, with this one piece of cobblestone you accidentally mined, and you can store them in one place. That is a really, really incredible use that allows you to increase your inventory space, but not actually by a lot. If you need to get a lot of blocks somewhere, you would not do it faster by using bundles, because it'd be a lot of the same blocks, presumably, and instead, the biggest use for this is going to be for exploration, which is what they really want to focus on. I also think it's really interesting that they mentioned very clearly, explicitly there, that one of the other problems they want to fix in Minecraft's inventory is inventory management, your hotbar management rather, and how, you've got 9 slots there, plus a 10th if you play on Java and you can dual wield, so 9/10 slots for Minecraft is significantly fewer than it should be. Minecraft has grown and had so many more items over time, and they haven't given us more hotbar slots, so we might expect to see something, given that this is an update all about exploration, and hotbar increasing might be a cool part of that. This might be an update where you expect to see that. But again, all we can say right now with 100% certainty is that we're going to be getting bundles. They're going to be super early game items, but that's what they keep implying with the fact that it's for seeds and for flowers and for stuff like that. They use wood and iron. They haven't used it to show off like, oh, you can put 32 ancient debris and 32 diamonds. No, that's not the use case for these, although it would work for them. The use case is meant to be super early on the game when you just want to, gather up a few stats together and make your inventory a little prettier. So the other key thing that they're mentioning when they say all of these things is they say we're adding so many new items to Minecraft, but we just haven't added new inventory slots. That's the issue they keep mentioning when they bring this up, and I think it's a really fascinating problem to think about, because it does imply that there is going to be a lot of new items in this update. Some people are complaining and saying, oh, too many items and blocks, it's so hard to learn. I mean, you don't have to learn about the items and new blocks in this update, but if you think about it, half of this update is a cliffs update, half this update is a cave update, and there's many other things in between. If you're going underground and you need to have these bundles, it does imply to me that they're going to have a lot of new types of stone, perhaps even more than the one new ore we've seen, and we're going to have these bundles to help us take those things together, because again, right now, when you pick up 13 andesite and 12 granite and, like a few cobblestone blocks plus the redstone, already that can be a real problem. I'd let, even right now the bundles be useful. If they think the bundles are going to be so useful that they want to make them readily craftable and have lots of them, say 9 in a chest, then it does imply that we might start to see a lot of new items come, because if, again, one of the key limitations was not just the block limit in Minecraft, was not just the item ID limit, which used to exist, by the way. They literally couldn't add more items because of how the game was coded. They've now overcome the technical limitation, but now they need to overcome the, the user limitation if they want to make a good user experience. If you want to make a player's experience of Minecraft great, you need to not just give them the ability to have lots of items, but an ability to actually have them in a way that isn't overwhelming and isn't annoying, and that's what I hope we see. I hope we see lots of weird niche items that we can finally start to have, and maybe that'll fix some of Minecraft's bigger problems. But maybe that's me hoping too high. The only things we can say with absolute certainty right now is that the bundle does not replace the shulker box. No, 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 not even in the slightest, although it's an early game version that might help you out a little bit, but it's the same way that gold doesn't replace diamond. I mean, sure, it technically mines faster and has a few edge cases where it's better in terms of enchantability, but you're not going to be trading in your diamond tools for gold anytime soon. And the other end of things is that we have a very clear indication of adding new items. Also, a key thing that this kind of means, because we saw how the ender pearl stack size kind of counts as 4 times as many, because it counts up to 16. This means that either you can include swords and mine carts and boats and stuff like that into your bundles, but it will fit it up entirely, or much more likely, because that makes no sense, why would you do that, or much more likely, single stackable items like the sword, single stackable items like the telescope, or whatever else it may be. These are going to have much more utility because they can't be combined into a bundle, and yeah, I think that means that Minecraft is going to be most of the blocks they're adding are going to be mostly non-stackable in that way, and if they are going to add a one-of-a-kind item, it's going to be something you actually want to bring with you, because now the penalty for bringing a boat with you in Minecraft is much higher than before. Previously, 1 seed and 1 boat took up the same inventory space. Now 1 seed takes up 164 per bundle, whereas 1 boat takes up 100% of the slot, and so as a result of that, we're going to be seeing some changes to how the Minecraft, I call it the meta, but mostly just the Minecraft game works and how we can play around with it, and that is something super exciting to see. But just remember, in this update, we're going to be seeing a significant improvement to the inventory problem. We're going to be seeing a significant improvement to the hotbar management problem, or at least they recognize there is one. And the cave update is the time to do it based on what we've seen so far. And we're going to be seeing a big update to how Minecraft works as a whole. I hope you all enjoyed this video where we went over the bundle briefly. This has been one of my biggest pet peeves. People saying it's OP when it's like, no, it doesn't make the shulker pointless. It's entirely different. You still need your shulker boxes. Go out and get shulkers right now because you're going to need them. You're going to need them now. You're going to need them for the next year, and you're going to need them in 2021 when the cave update does finally come out. Please, if there's one message you take from this, if otherwise you were just listening to the video kind of without listening to it, and you've just come in now and it's like, hey man, please just realize bundles are great. They're not OP, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Indeed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.